Hello, good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance here on YouTube. Welcome to our healing event. This healing event happens once a month and it's exclusive to some of my Temple of Balance patrons. So thank you so much for your support. And today or this month, we have 4 people on our healing list. So I will be connecting with these 4 people personally, and I will see what comes through for you. So I'll be connecting with Carol, with David, and Jodi, and Anne Marie. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I've popped your names here in my little dolphin candle cup holder thing that I made, one of my first things I made actually in ceramics class. So I will pick your name out of that bowl shortly. Hi Raina, lovely to see you. So that will be soon. Before I start though, I am inspired to chime for just a few minutes. I actually, funnily enough, I had a bit of a mishap with my smudge bowl and it smashed. Hi Erin, lovely to see you. Hi everybody. My smudge bowl smashed, so I've got a smudge stick here with no smudge bowl. And the funny thing is that of course I've just been making a lot of smudge bowls, some stoneware ones, some different types to my other one. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I should upgrade my smudge bowl. And then I thought, no, my old one still works well. And then my whole container that has all my live streaming stuff in it, including my smudge bowl, had a bit of a tumble, and my smudge bowl smashed up. So over this weekend, I'm hoping to get some more smudge bowls. Funny. Oh, thanks. Hi, Donna. Yeah, I hope to get a new smudge bowl for myself, hot out of the kiln. So there'll be no smudging today. That's my long story of just a short message. There's no smudging. So instead of smudging, I grabbed 2 of my chakra chimes, E and G. So let's figure out what that is. C, D, E. So we've got the solar plexus and the throat. So solar plexus, throat chakras. So we're looking at the power of our voice and maybe thinking about clearing our feeling of powerlessness, or clearing our blockages in what we have to say, or even feeling comfortable speaking with our voice or expressing ourselves. So there is a rise of power in our voice just by me not even thinking about what I was picking here, but picking what I did. So take a nice big breath, and we'll also use this time like we would with smudging to help clear the worries, the stress, the pressure. Hi Beth. The worries, the pressure, the stress, the worries, the stress, and the pressure that you might feel that you're under at this time. So really thinking about preparing ourselves to go deeper during this healing journey. So take a nice big breath, and let's do some clearing. So imagine this sound washing over your body, and as it washes over your body, allow it to carry away all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks, and attachments. So be willing to let that stuff go. Surrender with your out breath, and let those pressures go. Breathe them out and away, and let your body relax. Let your body release the tension that it's been under. Physically, mentally, emotionally, release that tension and pressure. And we call forward the Great Spirit, our God and Goddess, all of our spiritual guides and teachers, our loved ones in spirit, our ancestors, our power animals, and all beings of the light. And we ask them to come forward in support and sort of gathering around us right now. We ask them to keep us safe and protected now and always, to help our energy, our space, our body be as high, vibrational, clear and positive and focused as possible. And we ask that we step with courage on our path. And so it is. Okay, thank you. All right, so what I'm going to be doing, if you've just joined in, welcome. I'm connecting with 4 people especially today. These 4 people are some of my Temple of Balance patrons. So to be a patron or to be on my Patreon, there are different sort of pledge levels or different levels of I guess, exchange, where you offer an amount of payment to me, and at that offering you can receive certain benefits or resources, if you like. So there are all sorts of levels, like $1 level, all the way up to $150, and you can just hang around for the month. Some people just sign up for a month or so. Other people have stayed for a couple of years. So it just depends on what you need and what fits into your budget. So at the $50 level, is how you access this specific event. So this event is especially a personal healing event for 4 of my patrons: Carol, David, Jodi, and Anne-Marie, and thank you so much for your support. So as I mentioned before, I have your little names in here, and I'm going to pluck you out very randomly, and then I'll connect with your energy. So I'll be connecting with you for about 10 minutes or so, and whatever's loudest in your vibration is going to get my attention first. So whatever's loudest going on for you is what I'm going to pick up firstly, and then I talk that through, share that with you, and we get the energy moving. And it's hard to tell you exactly what's going to happen because I have no idea until the moment I'm connecting. So I'm very sensitive to energy, and I pick up things as I connect with that person in my own body. I also have visions or flashes or feelings connected with that person too. Depending on what's going on at this specific moment will depend how I connect in, I guess. So I'll share everything that comes up. I can't actually hold anything back because it will straight away it will block the flow of energy. So if I'm feeling something and I'm holding that back and I'm not expressing it and saying it, it's actually going to block the whole flow of energy. So I need to sort of openly communicate everything that I'm picking up. Sometimes I'll communicate something and it won't quite feel right, so it will lead me into a stronger feeling that's connected with that. So sometimes that's what the expression does too. So I've just very much got to trust in what I'm tuning into in the moment and express it as confidently as I can and as clearly and honestly as I can. Just remember to take on board what feels right, what resonates, what makes sense to you, and what fits in and feels right at this moment. So if you're one of the people I'm connecting with, just make sure you take on board what feels right. If it doesn't quite feel right, just put it aside and maybe come back and visit that. And sometimes too, because my guidance is very direct and very honest, I don't hold anything back. Sometimes the stuff that comes up can be a little bit confronting. And this isn't a bad thing, in my opinion. I feel like if something's going to confront us, it's actually a great opportunity for us to break some patterns or look at something in a new way. Just because I say something that confronts you doesn't mean you have to believe what I say or change your life to do what I'm saying. Sometimes what's confronting and what's coming out is challenging our own truth, so that we can consider that, contemplate it, and then become stronger in our truth on the other side. So just because something's said doesn't mean you have to follow it. Really trust what feels right and resonates with you and what you work out to be right for you with this information. So it's not uncommon to feel energy moving in your body as I connect with you. And if you're not one of the people on my list today, or if you are, but I'm connecting with someone else, I'm sure there are snippets and parts of other people's readings or connections that are going to be helpful for you. So just because you're not on my list doesn't mean this necessarily is a waste of time for you to connect with. I trust that these public sharings in this way, I trust in the timing of them. So there's likely something that may have someone else's name attached to it that will be just right for you. So be open to receiving what you need, whether you're on my list or not. So I think we're going to get started. What I'm going to do as I connect is pull a healing energy card for each of you, and then I'll tune in, and then at the end I'm going to pull one of my new healing energy card number 2s. So we'll see. Let's see who's first. Nice big breath, and we'll go with this person. First on my list is Carol White. Carol, take a nice big breath, and we'll see what's coming up for you. I can already feel energy moving in my throat as I connect with you. So there's energy shifting around the throat chakra, but I'll tune in deeper to that if I need to shortly. Your healing energy card is this. It's soothing. So this basically is talking about emotional stability, a sense of calm emotionally that's coming through. This sometimes comes after a period of emotional disruption, we could say, or a bit of an emotional storm that's been playing out in your life. So this is talking about things soothing down, calming down, and the waters becoming calm now. So this is an emotional card. I'll just put this down in front of me, and I apologize in advance. I'll probably have my eyes closed a bit because I just find that helps me connect rather than looking at myself on this monitor. So yeah, take a nice big breath for me, please, Carol. Okay, the first thing I'm picking up is this big diamond shape. It's like an elongated, stretched out diamond. The point of it sits up here at your third eye chakra. It elongates down here to just under your armpits, and then comes down right down to your sacral chakra. So we've got this big diamond shape coming through here. In fact, it might go up higher in the third eye. It actually comes up more towards the crown. So crown, under the arms, and down to the sacral chakra. And actually it's stretching down now to the base. Okay, so it's base chakra up to the crown. So it's this whole chakra system, and its widest point here is at the heart, funnily enough. So this is the heart chakra, and this is the widest point of this very stretched out, elongated diamond shape. So this is what I'm seeing to begin with. And I'm seeing your path ahead of you. And I'm seeing your path, it's like you're walking up to your path, but your path is laying like a crossways from where you're walking. So it's almost like a T-junction that you're approaching. But the funny thing is that where you're walking now, it doesn't feel like a road. It doesn't feel like a path. So it almost feels like you're walking through the, what we would say in Australia, the scrub or the bush or the the scrub or the bush. You're walking through this to get to your road ahead. So there's a road ahead, and there might be a feeling lately that you've that you're off your path a little bit, or you're uncertain, or you're working out what you want to do, where you want to go with your life, and what path you want to take moving forward. And I can feel you stepping towards that road ahead. So it's not even a path, it's a road, and it's a road that's very much like a T-junction right in front of you. So you're approaching this, and I feel like you're moving towards something that's going to warrant or need a decision to be made or a choice to be made. I see you moving to the road and picking right and moving right in the right direction in the right direction of your life. Now the funny thing is it's this diamond shape that's like your pull, we could say, your pull towards this road. It sort of feels like the road is a magnet, and this diamond is pulling itself or being pulled towards this road. So there is a strong pull here, not only from your heart, but from your whole body, that is pulling you towards the road. And you can trust this. I don't feel like you've stopped, because I feel like you are walking towards it. So keep going, keep moving forward. There's an energy that's coming and sitting in here around your throat chakra now. And you're being encouraged to go to new depths with your communication, with your expression and your truth and what your truth means to you, and also feeling safe to be who you are. I feel like you're moving to new depths in your throat chakra that's almost dropping you down into your heart. So it's almost like when the throat chakra gets so deep, when you explore that so deep, it actually moves you into your heart, because the next area down is your heart. So you're moving into new depths with your communication and truth that's anchoring you further into your heart. And this is a really strong energy that's coming through for you, Carol, with everything that I've talked about, is very much coming back to your heart and letting your heart be your guide and your heart be your compass. So as you become more comfortable in your heart and get to know what your heart is, how it feels, what it looks like, what it feels like, as you get more comfortable and connected to or building your relationship with your heart, which is with yourself, with love, you're going to get to know yourself so much better. And with that comes this strong instinct. It's almost an instinct that is your pulling, your what is this? I'm just trying to feel for the right word here. It's almost like you're pulling your pull. I can't really get past that word right now. It's like your pull, your guide, your instincts, your impulse that's pulling you forward into where you need to go on your life's path. So there's nothing you need to, mentally get concerned about or worry about or expect or assume for your future road that you're about to step onto. It's more very much about sitting in your heart and letting your heart be that pull or that call that's calling you towards your road, your path ahead and where it's going. There is a bit of an achy feeling here in the heart. So just take a really nice big breath and just allow yourself to connect further and further with your heart. And the key to that right now is accessing it, I feel, through your throat. So thinking about your communications, your expression, how you're expressing yourself, what your truth is at the moment, and how sure or confident you might be in it. So that's what I'm picking up for you, Carol. Let's grab a healing energy card number 2. Oh, this is my first time using these in a video. So I have my whole 55 cards. The titles and things are subject to change because I am refining this deck. But I'm looking for the best card that we need now to finish this off, Carol, and confirm anything or add anything that may not have been talked about. So your card is this. This is the drawing I did last week. You may have seen about the place. It's called Tree of Life for now, because it means I'll have 2 Tree of Lives in the actual deck. 106 Tree of Life, and it says understanding ourselves. And this is very much a lot about what I've been talking about in this connection with you, Carol. This is about depths. So this bottom part, this root system, there's a lot in this drawing as we're ready to access it. But there's a lot of depth that's coming in through this triangle shape here, this upside down triangle, and the tree roots as these grow down and encourage us to move to new depths in your life, new depths with your truth and your expressing yourself. As you move to new depths, as we all move to new depths, as we let those tree roots grow, then we can in turn allow or give permission, if you like, for the tree branches to grow and this whole other way pointing triangle to stretch upward and rise up. So we're growing in depth and we're growing in height, if you like. So this is an important card for you or energy for you, Carol, at this time, which definitely connects in with what I've been talking about. And in fact, now I see this whole diamond that came in at the very beginning, which is just confirming that as well. So this is showing your balance. It's showing your connection with your roots, your connection with your depths within you, and your connection with your growth and your potential in the outer world. So this is inside, this is in the earth, this is in our being. This is outside. This is what we're presenting to the world. So there's a lot of depth that's going on now. And what this is saying is that you're moving to a new level of understanding about yourself. So thanks so much, Carol. I trust this resonates with you and supports you at this time. And thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, next. Let's see who's next on my list. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I trust that you're feeling good. Next is David Magness. Let me have a little drink first. Okay, David. Nice big breath, please. Okay, what do we need to know as we prepare to connect with you, David, is what I'm asking the cards. And we have new life. New life. This is showing new life is already growing inside you. This is like the seed. This is the fetus. So it's already in you. So now it's about nurturing it and creating the best environment for it to let it grow. So there's new life. It's already growing inside you. So if you've been wanting or looking for the new around in your life, be aware perhaps, or maybe think about what is growing in you that is new, that new seed that you've planted a long time ago, and think about how you can nourish and nurture that energy. How can you create a better mental environment to help seed and germinate, but not germinates, it's already germinated, help grow this seedling. So it's already growing. I can feel that there's new growing within you. There might be a sense of restlessness in some ways that I can sort of feel in here, where you probably feel a little restless because it's like maybe it's not clear yet about what this new thing is. So there's a feeling here of just this inner, maybe unexplainable restlessness as this is preparing to actually manifest in your life. So what I would suggest, if you are feeling this, is to think about how you can nurture yourself and create a really positive environment. If your body, if your being, if your world, your mental, emotional, physical state, if that was the environment, if that was like if we planted a seed in the garden and the environment was the weather, the earth, the soil, the atmosphere, the general environment, for our inner seeds, it's this that's the environment. So ensuring your mental, emotional, physical being is supporting and nurturing and creating the best possible environment for the new within you to grow. So it's not outside you, and it's going to potentially present as something outside of you, something new that's coming into your life. But right now, the new is actually found inside you. So let's tune in and see where this sits. It sits right here in your solar plexus chakra. So your solar plexus is just above your navel, and it's your center for personal power, strength, and courage. So I see this seed here, and it's already starting to germinate. So it's got just a little twiggy sort of root and a little seedling sort of sprout at the top. So it seems very, very new, but it is sitting in here in your solar plexus. So I feel that there's also connected with this new beginning or this new thing that's coming into your life, that there is a connection here with an increase in your own personal power and a feeling here of understanding your power, or what I've liked to say lately, understanding your powerful qualities. I feel like this is part of what this birthing is about. And it's about embodying and accessing and embodying your power, your personal power, and recognizing your power in the way that it is unique for you. And that really is your power. So I feel being you is your power. So as you be more comfortable with you, and as you create this healthy, positive, the best environment to grow this seedling, you're tapping into your power. It's like you, there's a feeling here of, as you get to know yourself more and create a space within yourself more strongly, that this is helping you get to know you, which is helping you get to know your power. So it feels strong as it sits in here. It's very juicy and it's not firm yet, you know, like trees become very solid and barky. This is very tender, this little seedling, so that it's very new, it's very soft, it's very juicy. So there's something new and exciting about this. I'm connecting now with your over your shoulders, David, and also the back of your neck is getting my attention. And I feel quite a strong energy or pressure that's coming in around here, and especially around the back of the neck. And I feel like this is pressure that you put on yourself and burdens that you're carrying, especially burdens connecting with the past, that are connecting in with communication in some way. So what you said or what you didn't say, or what someone else said or what someone else didn't say. There's a feeling here of this coming up from the past, connecting with what was said or what was not said. So there's a need now to let this go because it's not important now moving forward. So what I want to do, there seems to be a handle here. So I'm seeing it like a twisted up tree, twisted up branch, and it's twisting up and leaving a bit of a handle or space behind your neck as it twists up and then carries down here over your shoulders. So this is a burden that you carry, and I just kind of want to grab the handle here. This is moving energy in the back of your heart as well, so around your area of your back in between your shoulder blades. So there's a connection here, something close to your heart that's connected as well. And I just want to grab this handle and really just gently pull this away. So this is something old that you've let grow inside you that doesn't need to be there. It's a bit like a weed or an old tree or an old ivy or vine or something that's taken over in some way, is the feeling. So as pulling that off, just pulling out all the sort of suckers and little tentacles and root sort of things that are embedded into your shoulders and the back of your neck and the back of your heart. So pulling that off now, and it's already opening up all this area here through your shoulders and the back of your neck and the back of your heart, which is feeling now very tender. So that self-nurturing may be really important now too, going forward with your healing, to support that tenderness in the back of your heart. And that word has come up a couple of times. So there is a tenderness energy that's coming through as well that you are probably in or moving into. Okay, so that's feeling good. And now just bringing some energy down from the universe above. And it's actually bypassing your crown, which is unusual, but we'll go with it. And it's just moving straight into the back of your neck and then spreading out across your shoulders and down the back of your heart. And this energy is coming in this really beautiful green, like a tree leaf green that's moving down and through. This healing energy is moving through there, and there's already a feeling of movement now in the neck and the shoulders that wasn't there before. So nice big breath. Okay, let's grab a card now and see what this wants to add. So again, this is my new deck. Let's see, what do you need to know now? What we need to know now, finishing this off. This connection. Okay, David, let's see. Look. Look at the little picture here. This is exactly right, except this is a little more mature than how I was seeing it. But I mean, this couldn't be more perfect, could it? Listen to this, 86, regeneration. I love that. And that's really very much what we've done, because I've moved that old tree, that old vine, the old weeds or whatever it may have used to have served a purpose, but it's old now. Moving all that stuff out, clearing it. In this case, a fire has moved through and cleared and burned it all away. And sorry, my light's just gone off. And that clearing out has actually allowed the new life to now grow. So there's a regeneration that's happening, and this is a great confirmation if it was needed. It says here, filling the void with an upgraded new. So what that means is clearing out the old stuff, clearing out the old wardrobe, clearing out the yard or the garden of weeds and debris. So as we clear that out, we're creating room, we're creating space, we're creating a void, if you like, for the new to start germinating and growing. So you may still be clearing some of that stuff out, but you may also be creating the environment, the space, so the space of support to let this new grow within you. So that's a great addition there, David. I trust that resonates and supports you. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, let's see who's next. Next is, I've got two more people I'm connecting with. Next is Jodi Kerry. I should have just gone down the list because this is the exact order of the list. But I do like it to be random, just in case someone else needs to be in a different place. But it's funny, we've just gone exactly down the list that I had anyway. So Jodi Kerry, take a nice big breath. This is your connection now. And anyone else who's open to receiving some guidance or insight to help you, then allow yourself to hear what you need. So Kerry, nice big breath, please. Here's your card. Okay, it's self-searching, card 6. This is reminding you to look within yourself for the answers that you're looking for. Instead of looking outside of yourself. Basically, this is about being careful that you're not giving your power away to people, situations, looking for answers. There's various things we give our power away to, even our devices, social media, addiction sort of things, negative thinking, all this stuff, we're giving our power away to that. So what we're doing is we're putting our energy outside of ourselves. And this card's very much about reminding us to bring our power back. So bring your power back. Stop giving your power away is the message in this. So it's not about looking outside of yourself for whatever it is you're looking for, but turning all that energy inward. Bring your focus within. Stand in your power. It is safe for you to express your truth. That's self-searching. So it's about looking within. Okay, and the first thing as I connect in with you is this very sharp, pointed, painful energy here at the back of your solar plexus chakra. So your solar plexus here, so it's around the middle back, and it's sharp. So it feels to me like, just how it feels is like a dagger going into the back of your middle back, the back of your solar plexus chakra. Your solar plexus chakra is actually your power center. So there's something connecting with the past, because I'm feeling this at the back, and there's something sharp, there's something that's so what I'm seeing now is like this dagger or a ice pick or something, some sharp implement or some sharp object that's energetically pierced the back of your solar plexus chakra in your middle back. It's been removed, but now it's like oozing air. So it's a bit like having a tiny pinhole in a balloon, and the balloon just slowly loses its air through this little pinhole. And sometimes we can hear it or we can feel it if we are sensitive to that, or depending on the situation. But I feel like there's a loss of energy here coming out the back of your solar plexus chakra. I don't feel it's important at this point, at least, to explore what this sharp object is. I don't feel it really matters. I feel like what we really need to do is look at repairing really the loss of energy that's happening here at the lower back. The middle back. So there's energy that's oozing out of you. You might have found it really hard to just keep your energy levels. You might find that you're doing okay and you make some effort, but then you're sort of feeling depleted and exhausted again. So there's probably a physical depletion or exhaustion, probably also emotional and mental, and probably a lack of drive in some instances, or an instability in that, where you sometimes have drive, but then it doesn't seem to last long. So there doesn't feel to be a longevity to your energy levels. It sort of feels a bit up and down, which we could pinpoint back to this loss of energy here in your middle back. You're probably also feeling quite low about yourself. There's a feeling here of low confidence or low self-worth that's coming in. And this is creating a heavy energy. I don't know if you can feel that, but I could feel that. As soon as I said low self-worth, the energy just, like this big heavy blanket just came in and just settled over this place. So there is a heaviness that's coming in, especially around lack of self-worth. And this is actually stopping you from moving forward in your life as much as you kind of want to sometimes. I feel like your hips and your knees are getting my attention, which is talking about movement in your life. And it just feels like this is all just too much sometimes. So we need to get this blanket up. So I want to lift it up. It's like a metal heavy, or it's like a wet woolen blanket. And it's heavy and it's just like, just fallen over here. So I want to lift that up. We'll get that off and down to the ground. And when it's down at the ground, it just returns back to love. And already things feel lighter through the upper part here of the body. And really, I feel moving forward now for you, Jodi, maybe consider your self-worth and how you really feel about yourself. Do you feel worthy of receiving abundance, of being in good health, of being in good flow, or having a happy life? It may be worth exploring in your journal, what does self-worth mean to you? Do you feel it? Do you not feel it? And what are the instances or the situations that are contributing to the rise in your self-worth, or the suppression or the lack of self-worth? It might be very much worth exploring that because it feels to be important. So this is now lifted. So there's been a load that's been lightened, but I'm also still just drawn here to the back of your solar plexus. And I really want to address this loss of energy, this whooshing of air that's coming out here. So this is really interesting because the air, when I connect with air or wind or dry things, if I'm in a healing session and there's like gravelly dry energy or air sort of thing, that's connected with the mind. The wetter energy that's more muddy or watery or bloody, we could say, that usually connects with the emotions. So because this is air that I'm feeling coming out of the solar plexus here at the back, this connects straight in with there being a strong mental connection. So there's a strong energy here that's connecting with your mind, and this loss of power that's connected with your past. So perhaps be aware or consider what your state of mind is in relation to your personal power, your confidence, your courage in moving forward, and where you're giving your power away. There's most likely a strong mental connection here. So let's see what we need to do. Okay, so what I need to do first is push on the front here of your solar plexus and get the last of that air out. This is like a never-ending, well, previously, what seemed like a never-ending oozing of air coming out here. And really, it couldn't be never-ending. A balloon is going to eventually just run out of air and just be flat. But this feels almost never-ending, which tells me that there's a mental force, a way of thinking, some negative thoughts, something going on here in the mind that is continuing to fill up your solar plexus chakra with air. So because it's constantly being filled with air, there's constantly air to be releasing out through the back. So we've got to almost turn off that negative mental energy, those negative thoughts, or whatever this is connected with. We've almost got to turn that off to stop feeding and filling up this space with more air. So I just ask it to turn off for now. We'll turn off. If we need to look back at that, we can later. But just turning this off, and it's a bit like turning off a tap, turning off the tap of your mind for now, especially in it coming down here into your belly. So now I'm pushing on the front of your solar plexus chakra, just above your navel, to get the last of that air out. This is probably too connected with an old story, something that happened that you're just constantly thinking about and talking about. And it's just that energy is just keeping it in play. We need to stop this now. So getting the last of that air out, and the last of it comes out of the back here, and then I'm just plugging up the back of it, the back of that hole with like a little plug. And now your solar plexus feels less bloated too than before. It feels better. And there's already a ton of energy that's coming through, like from the universe down into your body now, replenishing your energy in a healthy way. And I really feel turning off these thoughts and really being self-disciplined and using your self-control in stopping the thoughts that you've been thinking that have kept this old story and what happened going, because it's just feeding it and keeping it very active in your energy. And it's not supporting you at this time. It's not empowering you. So if it's not empowering you, then why keep the story going? So I feel now's an opportunity for you to stop the same mental dialogue or verbal dialogue that is keeping it in play. So when you catch yourself falling into the habit, because it's become a habit of getting back into it, just stop yourself. Stop yourself and maybe replace that thought or that word or what you're saying with something positive, like I'm getting over this now, or I'm getting past this now. This is not important for me to talk about or think about. And I feel that self-discipline is going to help you in quite incredible ways. So I trust that resonates, Jodi. Let's grab a healing energy card to finish this up and see what it wants to add. And these have been so on point, it's not funny. So what do you need to know, Jodi, now about, about moving forward, or about whatever we've connected with? I don't know, whatever you need here. We've got my bonsai. This is interesting. I love this drawing. It's card 108, and it says, plan, reach, and listen. Plan, reach, and listen. So this is about getting organized. It's about reaching for your ideas, your dreams, your inspirations, and it's about listening and observing the right moment to move forward. It says make time to prioritize. I also see a strong self-control, self-discipline energy in this card. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but here, this lady doing a yoga pose that's turned into a bonsai tree, sort of emerging there. She is so focused and so disciplined in what she's doing. And I feel like this is a really strong message for you moving forward, Jodi. So thank you so much. I trust this resonates, and thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, that means lucky last today is Anne-Marie. I'll get your little paper out anyway, but Anne-Marie, you're now. So take a nice big breath. Okay, let's see which healing energy card you need, and then we will connect and see what's going on. Okay. Okay, Anne-Marie, here's your card. It's cellular change. This is talking about deep changes in your body, in your life. So this is about change that's deep. It's changed in your very cells of your body. Change, improvement. And this is very much about love too. So anchoring love deeper into your body and into your being. It's about bringing a balance deep into your being, into your soul, if you like, so that you can feel the changes and the improvement on deep foundational levels. So it might be worth, with the work that you've been doing on helping yourself heal and looking at these things that you've been looking at lately, it might be helpful for you to think about taking those a little bit deeper into yourself. So what I mean by that is how I'm seeing this is like an ocean. And if you were an ocean, instead of looking at what you're seeing in your life, which would be very much the surface of the ocean, maybe a foot or two beneath the surface, instead of reacting to what's happening that you're seeing, there's a feeling here of dropping deeper into maybe things like reasons why you're reacting like this, or why you feel this fear, or why you're concerned about that, this sort of thing. So there's a feeling with this card about dropping a bit deeper than what you're just seeing and reacting to in your life. So let's tune in, Anne-Marie, and see what's going on in your body. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple of things here I'm just trying to make sense of, which they don't make any sense to me yet, but I'm just going to describe what I'm sensing. So I'm seeing what looks like a steel rod of energy that's wedged down your spine. It almost feels like a sword, but a sword of stone, let's say, a sword or a piece of stone that's been carved out like a sword. So it's very bulky, stone-like, cold, somewhat sharp, but at the same time quite blunt. So it's a bit like a stone club, I guess we could say, without the club on the end, so more like the handle. Anyway, I'm seeing this energy that's wedged right down from your crown, straight down your spine, all the way to your tailbone. And it feels the stone, it almost feels like your spine is set in stone in some ways. It almost feels like this stone rod has infused with your spine somehow, and that your spine is quite stone-like and almost setting like stone here in your spine. So that feels very heavy through your spine area. There's also connecting with that in some way is like this, it's like a helmet, but it's a bit like an old or like a cartoony space helmet. So there feels to be air in here, and it feels to be wider than your head. So it's not like a motorbike helmet feeling, which is very close and into your head. There's space, and it feels a bit like it's made of glass. So it feels very see-through, and it's just locked down here over your head. So that's what I'm seeing to begin with. So let's see what else we need to talk about, or what these things might mean. So as I'm connecting further with this energy, I'm feeling drawn down to your sacral chakra, which is your emotional center just below your navel. I'm starting to feel quite sickly, quite nauseous energy coming up through here. This is a really good sign. It shows that you've got a lot of energy stored down here in your emotional center, in your belly. There's a lot of emotion stored down there. It almost feels a bit stormy, like an emotional storm. It feels a bit chaotic, the energy here in your belly. But the nauseous feeling's good because it's showing me that your body, your being, wants to express it, wants to get that energy moving up and out. So we've got an emotional connection with this very dry stone energy through your spine that's almost fusing with your spine, and this airy glass sort of helmet space hat thing that's all around here, but no air can get in. It feels stale in here. I almost need to almost urgently just take it off because it feels stale. It's almost like you're keeping yourself in your toxic thoughts or your toxic ways in some way, because it feels like the stuff that's coming out of your mouth and the stuff oozing out of your head with your thoughts is creating a very toxic atmosphere here around your head. So it feels very like almost congested through here in the sinuses as well, and almost feels like these are blocking up your ears. So what you're observing, what you're aware of, and your own balance is probably not the best right now. And it just feels like this toxic space. Are you punishing yourself, I wonder? Are you unintentionally or without realizing it creating a space of toxicity that's keeping you toxic? I almost feel like it's poison, it's toxicity, and it's like this smoky green stuff that's I like I can almost vomit with it. It feels very toxic. We need to get this off immediately. And there's a pressure now that's starting to come in around the head. So that tells me that there's a bit of resistance, and this may have been a way of life or a habit that you've gotten into in keeping yourself in a toxic space mentally, verbally. How you speak about yourself perhaps is connected here, that this has become a habit, it's become what you're comfortable with, and it's not supporting you at all. So I feel like it's actually holding you back, and it's creating a toxic space that's very hard to find healing with or find your own balance. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to just remove this because it just feels so toxic. So what I'm going to do is put my hands down here and push this helmet up. So it might bring stuff up to begin with, because the energy is going to sort of panic that it's just about to lose its hold. So just take some really big breaths. You may want to place your hand on your heart and keep reassuring yourself, Anne Marie, that this is going to be okay, that this is what you need to help you move forward. So on the count of 3, we're going to lift this up. 1, 2, 3. Lifting up this helmet, dropping it down to the ground where it just returns back to love, because it's just energy. Now all these toxic fumes are now coming out of this space, and there's a bit of a panic with this toxic energy. This green is just becoming a bit swirly and whirly and heavy and pressured. So I feel this big wind coming through from behind, and this wind is just blowing all this toxicity away. All this toxic, poisonous, greeny energy is just being blown away from your head space. And I'm already feeling this sense of clarity and mental calm coming in that you probably haven't felt for a very long time. And I could see you, I got this vision of you with a surfboard under your arm, and I see you going down to the surf. And what I see from that is you taking back your power, your mental power especially, taking back your power so you can get further into the flow. Because I feel this is something that you've been personally curious about. I can feel this sense of, why can't I go with the flow? What is my flow? I feel like your going with the flow has been something of a something unattainable in the past, but I see you now with your surfboard under your arm, and you're going down to surf the waves energetically. You're going down to the surf to work out what it's like and feels like to go with your flow, and to find the power in that, the power and the trust that you have in letting your life flow without feeling like you've got to control it in that toxic space that you've perhaps been in before. So there's a feeling here of, with clarity and clear mind, that this is helping you potentially further move into your personal flow and what that means for you. So that might be something worth exploring. What is your flow? When have you felt it before? What steps can you take today to help you just feel a little bit more flowing, a little bit more trusting in how things are going to unfold, even just in a day-to-day, daily routine things? Perhaps that might help. It's also important to talk about that the garbage truck's coming past, so we'll just send some toxicity that way too if any more is hovering. It's also important just to mention that you may have got into a habit of holding yourself in a toxic mental space. So it's now probably going to be important for you to think about breaking those habits, because your mind will probably want to keep going back to that toxicity. So it's probably a matter now of cancelling those thoughts and those words that keep you in a toxic, unsupportive space, and replacing those with a positive alternative. So instead, for example, of thinking the worst, if that's a habit you've gotten into, thinking the worst, and then in 10 minutes time you're thinking the worst of something, catch yourself doing that, stop it, and then replace it with something more supportive, like, I can trust my life is going just the way it needs to. I can trust that this is going to turn out just fine. something to replace that negative habit you've gotten into mentally. So this is going to be the thing to now be really observant of. So now I really want to address this this sword made of stone that's fused to your spine. It's white, it's whitey, dusty, chalky looking. It feels like it's merged with your spine, and it also feels like there's it's not smooth, it's bumpy, it's not it's bulgy in some places, but it's generally tapering down, right down where it sits at your tailbone. So right up from your crown at the widest point, and then it tapers down through. So it's not smooth, it's not polished, it's not a sharp edge. It's quite dull, and it's quite bulgy in places. It's bloated, little bloaty balls in places. So it's very white and chalky. I do feel it's connected with that space that we've moved out of mentally. So I do feel a lot of this is also held in place with your own mental thoughts of inflexibility perhaps, or not being supported, because our spine is a big support for us. And I sort of get this feeling that you probably feel a bit insecure perhaps, or a little bit unsupported in general in your life, like you're doing everything on your own. So there's a feeling here of almost not letting support in because you're sort of taking that on yourself, or keeping that mental distance, the distance with your thoughts, the distance mentally by thinking no one wants to help me, I'm doing this on my own. Those types of thoughts will keep support at a distance. Support can be and is all around you, but if you don't believe you deserve it, or if you don't believe other people want to, you're going to be keeping support at a distance. So there's a strong support feeling that's coming in with this. And yeah, because it's fused, okay, I get this fused feeling with your spine. I can't pull it out. So let's just see what we need to do. I feel like we need to pour something in that's going to dissolve it and dissolve its forming around your spine. It feels like it's taken over your spine in some ways, and your spine feels very stiff energetically. So I feel like I've got this jug here, this ceramic jug of liquid. It looks like liquid gold, and this liquid gold I feel is going to dissolve this stone that's fused in around your spine. So just pouring this in now here at your crown where it's widest, and as it's pouring in, it's a bit like acid or something, and it's just dissolving away all the stone part. It's not dissolving away you, but it's dissolving away the fusion, if you like, and it's just working its way down, eating away all of this stone that's been blocking you from feeling support, and blocking you from moving forward. So just allowing that to happen. It's just moving now down just below the back of your neck, so down now the back of your heart, and just moving down as it's tapering all the way down and round now the back of your lower back, the back of your sacral chakra, and all the way down to your tailbone, and just dissolving all that out and dropping it all down now to the earth. So dissolving and letting all the liquid now fall down to the earth out of your tailbone, and just letting it all plop, just like tipping a bucket out, and it just sort of plops down to the earth and just returns back to love. And I'm feeling this sparkling new spine that's feeling more flexible, doesn't feel so stiff and rigid or unsupported. It's like a glowing new spine. It's like your bones or your spinal bits have been all polished up. So it's like all this polished up bone here of your spine, and this movement, this flexibility, which is also going to help you go with the flow more too. So there's a feeling here of a softening here of your lack of support that you've been feeling, and letting support in is part of this. I feel like it's going to have probably deeper effects as well. Let's grab a healing energy card number 2 and see what that wants to add here, Anne-Marie. So nice big breath. Wow, you're feeling better already. So with that clearer mental space, I'm feeling this will help so much. Oops. Oh, these cards are very slippery because they're not really cards. It's just a little photo paper, but they're great for samples. So what you need to know to add to this is what I'm holding the intention of. And we have this. Okay, this is Unfolding Time, card 72. And it says moving out of time locks. This is very interesting to add in here. This is talking about the things that have happened in your past. The things that have happened, the dates, the times, the exactly what you were doing in that moment that you heard the news, or in the moment when something happened, and that lock that event holds on you and holds you back. So this is very much about thinking about or exploring what about your past is holding you back. So what is there, or what's happened that is very difficult to stop thinking about, for example? What about that event or that time lock, that thing that happened on the exact day? You know, we know the anniversaries. We know them because that day comes and we think back to that event. It may have been last year, it may have been 10 years ago, and we're thinking back and it hits 11 o'clock and we know that, hey, this was the time we got the phone call, this was the time this happened, that happened, and we hold ourselves in these time locks, which often hold us back. So this is about thinking about or reflecting on, Anne-Marie, what about the past is holding you back, and what are you, how can you explore that, and maybe think about whether this past event is worth keeping in play. Is it worth continuing to talk about, or continuing to torture yourself by the date and the occurrence as it happens each year, or as you count down how many days since it happened? Because all this stuff just holds us back. So it's probably worth thinking about what's locking you to the past and how can you unlock that now. So by knowing and increasing your support network outside of you, but also becoming your best supporter, will probably help as well. And really thinking about your mental state and whether your thoughts are supporting you or whether your thoughts are basically destroying you. And if your thoughts are not supporting you, then it's not perhaps worth having that thought. So being strong about kicking that thought out of your mind and deleting, cancelling that thought, so you can get into a really clear, focused mental state. I feel like that's going to be really important in helping you move forward. So thanks so much, Anne-Marie. I trust this supports you, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you. So thanks so much for connecting, everybody. It's been a wonderful connection today, and I trust that you felt something or you feel good from it. I will be back for our next month's Patron healing event sometime towards the latter part of December, most likely. Next month, the December one will be very much about tying things up, because it's the last month of the year, and January is going to be very much about bringing new things in. So there'll be a lot of that energy around coming forward in these next 2 months. If you want to be a part of next month's connection, then please have a look on my Patreon link. The link's in the video somewhere, wherever the information is, and you can have a look if you want. If you've got questions, let me know. If I connected with you today and you would like to continue a connection next month, then I look forward to connecting with you then. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day. I am going pretty much in about 5 minutes. I'll be going over to my Temple of Balance Facebook page and sharing guidance for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'll share that video back to YouTube a little later afterwards. So I might see you then. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for being here. Namaste. See ya.